Well, welcome everyone to shift your perspective and enhance your relationships with energy leadership. You might have heard about energy leadership and you might not have heard about it. You'll see the book in the back of my nicely room set up here. And energy leadership, I learned about energy leadership while I was completing my coaching certification with IPAC, the Institute for Professional Excellence in Coaching. And we do have, Asher, you did go through IPAC training as well, so you know about it as well. So it really changed my life when I went through the certification and deep dived in what energy leadership is. And I'd like to pay it forward. I would love to share that information so I can help you make a difference in your life and see the world in a different perspective and enhance your relationships. So I'm thrilled to be here today with Janelle. And we both are certified coaches, and we really want to share that information with you. So while I started my business pretty recently, Janelle is a coach for how many years now, Janelle?
I am in my 10th year this year.
Oh, an anniversary
Thank
year.
you.
Awesome. Perfect. So we'll be co-facilitating today. So I'll share the information, but anybody on the call, do feel free to share your best practices, your tips, your stories. This workshop is for you, and we will guide you through. We will share our stories with you, and we really want to make sure that this is interactive. So we'll stop. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And feel free to raise your hands. And oh yeah, Janelle, you're an iPad coach too, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll have some engagement too. So I will actually open up breakout rooms so you can share some challenges you are facing and really experimenting with the different energy levels and see how does it feel when you're going into different levels. So as Bo Bennett said, a good leader is one who can tell another how to reach his or her potential. A great leader is one who can help another discover the full potential. And this is what I am doing and Janelle is doing as a coach, and Asher, I know you're a coach too. It's like helping people unlock their full potential, really thinking about, hey, there is more out there, and we are partnering with people to help them unlock the full potential and see what's out there will help you shift your perspective. And what we are usually doing, or I am doing, is I do lean into the energy leadership framework and really help people to see the world in different lenses. So today's agenda, we'll talk a little bit about two types of energy, a catabolic and anabolic energy, and what are they? And then we'll dive into the energetic self-perception chart, where we are explaining the 7 levels of energy and what does that feel, what thoughts come up, what are the feelings that come up when you're thinking about each energy level and the results that you get out of them. And really, this will help you to unlock your full potential and achieve the life you want to, or at least see the world in a different perspective. There's so much drama and negativity out there, and a lot of people complaining or being angry. So a lot of people are in that catabolic energy. And wouldn't the world be so much nicer if people were more in anabolic energy, like seeing the world in a more positive way? And then we'll share the next steps. So what can you do after the workshop? So we'll be available for your support. So this is the start of a journey, a potential journey together, and we'll share what potential next steps could be for you. So with further ado, I'd
Mhm.
love to kind of share a little bit of energy leadership and what does it do to people? So their IPAC has done research and some surveys, and they actually surveyed people who have gone energy leadership coaching and said, what's the result of being on that journey? So I'd love you to read through these and put in the chat, what would you like to get out of like increasing your energy level, really thinking about a more anabolic energy level? What could there be? So what is an area in your life you would like to see improvement? And put that in the chat. Is it more increase in self-described leadership abilities, greater feeling of engagement, satisfaction with interpersonal relationships, or even being satisfied at work, increasing your productivity, improve your time management, increase overall combined energy level, or financial success? Put that in. Yeah, getting employment. Yeah, like really thinking about, okay, what can I do to get that dream job or that role I'm looking into? Yeah, Asher, time management. Don't we all want to have more time and manage our time better? Increase in productivity, time management, financial success. So yeah, Janelle, like there are more than one we are striving for. Yeah, attracting people when we do have our businesses, how can we get clients, but also how can we attract our future employer? Yeah, increase overall energy level. Thank you, Sandra. So it's really, really a lot of things. So we all are here to improve something, to reach something. And I commend you all for taking time, especially for people who put time management in there. Thank you for prioritizing your time and investing your time, and you'll get something out of that as well. So it's really an investment, and prioritizing what do you want to do, where do you want to be. So let's dive in a little bit. There are two types of energy. And the first energy is catabolic energy. So, catabolic energy is like breaking down the molecules, it's destructive and it tears you down. On the other hand, there is anabolic energy. There is a building energy. It's building molecules. It's growth. It's energetic. It's like really feeding the energy in us. And we experience both of them every day. And you can go in one to the other from 1 minute to the other. Who has ever had like a text message from somebody and you're either like, oh, or you're like, oh, just a little thing like that can shift our energy level. And it really is important that we are just aware because we unconsciously go into a certain energy. But what we want to do today is to actually consciously choose where do we want to be? Do we want to be in that catabolic or in that anabolic energy? Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you get a message from somebody who says, oh, no, that's additional work. Let's just ignore it. And that's an energy level in itself. So you actually go back to doing nothing about it. So I really want to kind of dive into the energetic self-perception. And you're like, what is she talking about? The energy? What do we mean? So let me share a little bit more about it and some more details. And I will give you a resource at the end, access to a resource, and you have that self-perception chart available for you. So but feel free to take a picture as well. Sometimes we do that or a screenshot. So IPEC actually has created this chart and it really shows the different levels of energies and your thoughts and your emotions do create certain actions, results, and outcomes. So each energy level has core thoughts, core feelings, and emotions, and the associated actions and results with that. So really people resonating. So you see the different colors here. So the dark blue is like all about thinking about ourselves. So these are the energy level 1 and 2. It is really like the destructive. It's all about being ego, low energy, apathy, and anger are usually living in that area. When you look at the light blue, there's more the energy level 3, 4, and 5. That's more, it has a strong ego, but you also now go from the catabolic energy more into anabolic energy. So there's a mix, and you go more and more into the anabolic in the growth and building energy levels. So level 3 is about forgiveness, or people, you might hear people say, it is what it is. It's like, okay. So it has a mix of both of them. But then level 4, you go more into the anabolic, like compassion. I care for others. I want to help others. And then that peace, we are all win-win solutions. And then the purple, which is my color, I love purple. This is the self-transcendence. So this is kind of the energy level of there's no ego. It's all more into joy. We are here for a reason and absolute passion. So what I'd like to do is I'd like you to think about a situation today. Think about somebody you interacted with, a situation you had, an email you opened, a call you had. Think about what was your reaction. What were your thoughts? And then put
Could
that
you could you
in the chat. Where were you? Were you catabolic energy, the destructive, or were
could
you
you
in
please
anabolic
repeat
energy?
the question?
Sure. Think about a situation you had today or somebody you interacted with. What kind of energy was there? Was it catabolic, destructive energy, or was it anabolic, building, growing, energizing? And put that in the chat. Let's see where we were today. Okay, anabolic. Okay, mid to anabolic. So, yeah, yeah. So again, it could be like one day we feel more like catabolic, one day more anabolic. And Sandra, yeah, you might be jumping between. And this is really like our day is full with anabolic and catabolic. Yeah, and yeah, Janelle, thanks for sharing. Yeah, so that email, like irritated, defensive. And then it was like, well, and then sometimes we just sit back and think about, hey, we don't know what happened in that person's life. And I have the choice how I react to or respond to it. So it's a lot of times we have the choice, do we react and just do? And or do we stop, breathe, and then choose what serves a specific situation better? Is it a 3? Is it a 5? Is it more, hey, I want to get to a win-win, which is a 5? Does that serve me better? And we'll have these so many times. Our brain makes 35,000 decisions every single day. Imagine what's going on here. Catabolic, anabolic, da, 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 and going around. So it's really sometimes important just to sit back and think about it. What is the right thing? So what I'm gonna do is I'd love to get you into a breakout room quickly and give you an opportunity to talk about the different levels. So we have the level one, which is if that happens to me, I can feel like a victim. The whole world is against me. A lot of people I coach, and if they are depressed or things are not going well, things happen to them. I often see that people go into that victim, like things happen to me. And the feeling associated is apathy or lethargy. So it's like we're not doing anything. We are stuck. And the thought comes up, I just lose. The whole world is against me. Sometimes when that email came in or that call or somebody coming into the office, you associate with conflict, and you get angry and you get defiant, so like defined, and you get argumentative. And then the thought here is you lose because you're still in this egoistic environment. It's all about me. And then sometimes you go into responsibility, which is like you're feeling forgiveness, and there's more cooperation. So you're thinking about, I will win, and if you win, great. But there's still that egoistic part in it because it's borderline to your ego. And then sometimes there's more concern, like your compassion, you're thinking about the other person, you care about people around you. And you think like, if you win, great. And if I win, even better. So the other person is in the center. So you're going away from that ego and more serving for the other people. And then you have reconciliation. Level five is like you feel peace and it's more acceptance. We both win. Yeah, there are opportunities out there. We are not seeing it as challenges. We are seeing things as an opportunity where you get something out of it and I get something out of it. And then you have synthesis, like there is somebody, there's pure joy. A lot of times, people who have pets and the pet comes in, that's where you're like, yeah, this is joy. And the result is wisdom, and you enjoy it. You're meditating, you're in the moment. And you're like, everyone always wins. There's not a now in the situation. Like sometimes we think our dogs, like I know we have a couple of dog people here, like they have a great life. They don't have to make all these decisions. I was like, they just can experience joy and be. And then the level seven is non-judgment. So it's the absolute, the creation. Winning and losing is illusion. Really, it's how we see the world, and it's not what you say that matters most, it's why you say it. And there's another saying, it's not what you say to people, it's how you make them feel. And I think that's really where we are looking into energy levels. It's like thinking about the other people around. We know how we feel, but how we react, respond, it's how other people feel. So, really thinking about that in every single moment. Don't react, choose to respond with the right energy level. So really, it's a lot of information we went through today, and obviously, like I had a couple of months to learn about energy levels. I read the book, I went through an assessment. I'm a certified assessor for it, so there is a lot to digest, to think about it. But I encourage you to look either on energyleadership.com, get the book, or you can obviously talk to us as well. So before we wrap up today with some next steps, what questions or comments do you have?
Well, Karen, I just wanted to, you said something like kind of at the same time profound as well as very daunting. You said don't react, choose your response, something to that effect. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the secret to the whole thing. But that's sort of like, well, if you want to lose weight, eat less, exercise more. It's one thing to say it, but man, you can spend your whole life learning how to actually do that, not
Yeah.
react, choose your response.
Yeah. No, a good point, Peter. Thank you for drawing it out. And I think that's why it's so important to work with somebody. I say like have a mentor, have a coach, have a friend, your spouse to support you. A lot of times we just need somebody to lean onto to support us. And one thing I learned and again practice makes perfect. A lot of people say it's like just when something comes your way, stop, breathe, and then think about it. So it's really something to consciously do that. And if you need a sticky note and at your computer, do that too. Stop, breathe, think, do. So yeah. Yeah, and Ashley, yeah, increase the value of your past. We are all trying to make a living, live our lives, and I can't change the people around me, but I can change how I react to certain things that happen. So really thinking about what's within my zone of influence, that's where I can make changes and get out of that zone of concern. Like there are so many things in the world I don't like, but I can't change it. So I'm choosing to think about, okay, what can I change? Any other comments, questions? So, and I encourage you schedule a 30-minute discovery call with me to learn more about the Energy Leadership Index assessment. So it's a short assessment. You do it in about 20, 30 minutes, goes through, it's an attitudinal assessment. So it is about your personality, how you see the world. What kind of lens do you have on? What kind of filters do you have based on your experiences in your past? And it's going to show you a certain energy level. And we will then have a 80-minute debrief where we are diving into that report. What does that mean? And how can we use that information to improve our lives, whether it is our fitness. Peter, to your point was, I guess I need to lose weight, but how can I do that? How can I like play around with that? Or how can I be more financially successful, as you said at the beginning of the workshop? Or how can I build more enhancing and fulfilling relationships? So the ELI is a standalone ELI, so you get where are you on your energy levels? And that's usually in your normal reactions, but then it also spits out when you are stressed, and that's the juicy stuff. Where do I go when things happen to me? But that's not me. And how can I get to who I am again? There is also a 360 assessment, which I often do with my executive leaders, and that has a leadership component on it and a 360. So you can actually ask up to 25 people to give feedback, and then you have a really cool 360 around the energy level. How do other people see you in your day to day and when you're stressed? And that is a great tool to dive in. And we often use that when I have a coaching engagement. So we have that common language and we dive in. What do we want to achieve? And how can we use these energy levels to get to where we want to be? So do feel free to reach out to me. There are 2 different calls you can set up, and I'm going to put them in the chat so you can copy the links. So there is a calendar invite, schedule half an hour. We dive into the energy leadership assessment, how to set it up. You have an option to pay for the next 24 hours. If you do sign up, the assessment is going to be $250, and that is the assessment plus the 80 minutes debrief with me. So if you want to know who you are, when I did that assessment, it was really interesting. I was like, oh yeah, gosh, yeah, but ooh, I was fixed on that stress. How can I change my catabolic energy? And I worked with the coach to move me more into this anabolic energy so I can enjoy life a little bit better.